Boo. Hello everybody. How are you doing? Freddie is trying to have a really good look inside the Ladybird house today because there's been a lot of changes. Told you, didn't I, this morning? There's been a lot of changes to these Ladybirds, and let me tell you, inside the Ladybird house today, it is so still. After having all those Ladybird larvae crawling around looking a little bit sinister with all those legs, we can't see any today, can we? Freddie, we're looking really hard. Well, we can see them, but they're not moving. That's what I meant to say. They're in there, but they're not moving. They're being very dormant. They're being very still. And I think it's because there's some sort of magic going on with them, and they're changing. They're changing. Their bodies are going shorter because that lovely long shape that they had before is like curling under, and they're making themselves much shorter. Now I know you can't see a great deal in here at the moment, and I've took you some very special close-up videos and pictures with my camera that I'm going to show you very soon. I just wanted you to get the atmosphere because it's very still, very calm, but there's some secret magic going on in there. Now today we're going to try and draw what we see, and we're going to try and write about it. Is that okay? I know Mrs Hopper's challenge was not a writing challenge, so I'm going to have to give you a writing challenge, aren't I? I think it would be good to get those brains working, think about all those phonic letter sounds, and get you thinking about what you can write about those ladybirds. All right. Well, I want you to take a look at the photos, and I want you to take a look at the rest of the videos, and then we'll talk about what you're going to write about very soon. See you later.
I'm really not sure what these ladybird pupa are actually doing at the moment. I just noticed them inside the special house that they've been in. I noticed this morning that this yellow one, which is now falling, was completely yellow, but in the last few seconds it started sort of changing colour, and then both of them, it's a bit like all of a sudden they've decided to do a headstand. I don't quite know what they're doing, but they are definitely moving, as you can see. How fascinating, folks, that this is actually happening right in front of my eyes. And I really hope that this video is good for you to be able to see how they're changing. I'm just going to try and move the camera a little bit more. There we go. See if we can zoom in a bit on there. Wowee. Oh, there he goes again, falling down.
Well, wasn't that exciting, everybody? Those ladybird larvae doing that very strange thing that they were doing, going up and down on that leaf. Fascinating. We loved it, didn't we, Freddie? We loved it. Freddie is loving all of this learning about the ladybirds because he was very excited about tadpoles, but he never knew all these things about ladybirds. He didn't know that there were 46 different kinds of ladybirds just in England, and that's not 46 different ladybirds all lined up in a row. That's 46 types. So there might be one ladybird that's black, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those, all the black ones. There might be a ladybird that's black with just 2 red spots, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of those as well. There are thousands of different ladybirds in our country and all over the world. And we'll learn a little bit more about ladybirds as we go along. Now then, let's stick to today. So this was last week, wasn't it? I drew a picture of the ladybird larvae. And I said to you that, no, your picture might not look like mine, and that's fine. And I showed you how to do it by putting the bits together. And I've seen some of your pictures and they are fantastic, so you've really tried hard. But today, as we've seen, our ladybirds have changed again. So this really is the kind of thing that we're looking at today, isn't it? That's what we've noticed, isn't it, inside our ladybird house. We've noticed them going into that strange, like shrunken stage. They've curled up their body. They've made themselves smaller. They've like curled up that long tail underneath, and they've gone into like a little ball. And well, I learned a bit about it myself. I thought, what is it that they do? Because they don't spin a cocoon like caterpillars do, so what do? And you know what it said to me? The computer told me that they lose their skin. So this hard outside skin that the larvae had, those plates that we talked about, they start to come off. And the more green fly, the more aphids that they eat, the more they lose their skin. It's not really like human people, is it? Mrs Bowen's not losing her skin. The more cake I eat, I think I'm getting more skin. Oh, maybe I wish I was a ladybird. But ladybirds lose their skin. It starts to come off and it changes. You can pop that there for a minute. And eventually it changes so much that they have no colour at all. All of that funny black and orange plate covering that they had when they were a larvae, it all comes off and they look like this. And then colour changes again, because have you noticed this one's starting to get shiny? Let me show you. It's getting shiny. Plain, yellowy, orange and shiny. Well, that's because it's starting to turn into an adult, grown-up ladybird, and eventually it'll look like that. So it goes from being a bit ugly, black and orange and scaly to being all orangey yellow with no spots at all, to being red and black spots, or orange and black spots, because there are so many different kinds of ladybirds. But it's a very big change, isn't it? It's a very big changing cycle, going from one thing to another thing to another thing. And it certainly happens a lot quicker, Mr. Freddy, than frogs. Now, today we're going to have a go at drawing that stage, which is the pupa stage. A bit like when the caterpillars were in their cocoons, it's the pupa stage. And it just looks a bit like a blob, really, doesn't it? I'm going to draw it here. It's just like a big sort of blob shape, really, from that angle there. But it's got those plate bits over the top. Just looks a bit like that, really. There's the head bit at the bottom. Now, I haven't got a lot of time today to be colouring mine in, so I'll just do it very, very, very gently. Scribble, 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 scribble. But hopefully you can find some orange and you can put the orange bits in as well. So that's our pupa. But we're going to do some writing that goes with it today. We're going to write a sentence, and I am going to be a bit big, bad and mean. I'm not going to give you all the words. I'm going to show you how many words it will be, because I'm going to put some lines in. So we're going to put, there's the first word that you'll need to find. I'm going to help you with this one, because ladybird is not really a word that you can sound out with your letter sounds, but it's a word that you might see a lot. So we'll write that one together. So we've got oo, a, and a d, e, lady, bird. And it's a bit hard to get that sound in the middle, because it's one of those funny digraphs. It's two sounds together. So, ladybird. What word can we have here? I know. See, it's all in my head. It's going to come out for you in a minute. Put one under there, because your writing might be bigger than mine. You might need to have it on a great big piece of paper. Okay? But at the end I'm going to put full stop, because that's the end. So, you're probably thinking, Mrs Bowen, what are those words that you're thinking of? Well, this is my whole sentence, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words in my sentence and a full stop at the end, okay? And of course, here, the very, very first sound here you will use will be a capital letter, so a big letter, all right? Now, I'm thinking of this sentence, and this is what you need to remember. The ladybird skin drops off. And they should all be words that you can work out with your wonderful brains of how to write them. Let's say them again. The ladybird skin drops off. So I'm going to have a little go with you with your phonic sounds now. Do we have to use our sounds for the word the? The? Or is it a tricky word? It's a tricky word, isn't it? So I can't even help you with that one. You should just know what the looks like by now. And you've got your tricky house words with you at home. So see if you can find the. You'll need to put the just there. The ladybird skin,
skin, skin, sk, in, sk, in. I'm doing the thinking with you now, not the writing. You've got to do this yourself. Sk, in, skin, drops, drops, drops. See what sounds you can hear? Pull them out and then blend them together to make the word. Drops, drops. And the last one, off, off, off. Bit of a challenge for today. So you do your drawing and write your sentence, and then I'd love to see them when you've done them. Okay, that's all we're going to do today for our ladybird work, because we're still at the pupa stage, but the way those ladybirds are changing, I am sure we are going to be at this stage before very, very long. So I wonder what we'll do next time. Maybe we'll give those tadpoles a visit, Freddie, and we'll bring those out again as well. Because it's good fun, isn't it, learning about creatures and all their lifestyles. Okay, so one last little reminder. The ladybird skin drops off. See how you go, folks. We better go before Freddie drops off. See you very soon. Bye bye.